Now presenting Mr. Mike Coyne, Governor's Hurricane Conference Board member representing the National Weather Service.
Good afternoon, everyone. Our next award is the Tropical Meteorology Award. It's presented to an individual or organization that has made outstanding or substantial contributions to the advancement and knowledge application.
If you're a YouTuber and you want to save hours managing your library,
process
very
in the state
easy
of
to
Florida.
Come check out how you can edit your end screens, cards, and
Since 2004, Mr. Mike Boylan has been educating people about trends, model runs, and everything else tropical weather related through his website. He does not forecast, but his dedication and contributions to the citizens of Florida and providing tropical weather information in layman's terms, helping to explain what the forecast trends mean, and how to follow all the extensive maps, charts, and graphs located on his website, Mike's Weather Page, aka SpaghettiModels.com. The 2021 Tropical Meteorology Award goes to Mike Boylan of Mike's Weather Page.
Just click on Mike's page, jump on the nation. Well, there'll always be some haters. They don't understand. Mike's got a friend and 100,000 more across the land. Well, if you want to know it first and you want to know it right and you want to have time to plan, Drunk Donkey Nation tells your friend, Mike, he's your man. And he's gonna tell you all about the wind and the rain. We're gonna tell you if it's gonna be a storm or if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Drunk Donkey Nationwide.
No, I'm not playing. All right, everybody. Good morning. Not really a good morning. There's our potential major hurricane on radar here that unfortunately millions of people are going to be affected. Millions of people are going to be affected. Very serious storm. So I don't read comments. I'm sorry. I apologize. We usually do that a lot, but I got a lot to talk about, a lot of thoughts I want to get out. So not being rude to everybody. We're going to open the show like we do every show for 6 years with Louie. Been streaming live since 16. As you heard in that intro there, won the Tropical Meteorology Award for Florida here. I've been doing this a long time, and I try to stay consistent, try not to hype, try to be realistic, try to share thoughts, try to be honest. And this one's got me scared, okay? I just don't feel the urgency with this one yet. Hopefully I'm wrong, but it's going to be a wide, far-reaching system. So many focus on that damn cone. I hate it. God, I hate it. We're out of the cone. We're out of the cone. The cone has nothing to do with anything other than the eye. Okay? There's going to be people totally shocked when they find out they got tornado warnings, they got surge, they got power outages, they got, everything that goes along with tropical systems. This storm is about as bad as it gets. I will tell you that, okay? There will be some stronger in history. This one's shaping up, in my opinion, to be one of the most historic storms that we've seen because of the amount of people that are going to be affected by this. And I don't think that's ever talked about enough leading up to a storm that you will be affected, okay? This is not who gets the landfall. This is about millions of people likely will be without power, dealing with tornadoes, dealing with surge. Okay, I have a lot of thoughts, man. I don't even know where to start, but first off, Tallahassee is definitely in the eye. Okay, there's 201,000 people that live in Tallahassee. So first and foremost, they're the ones that will probably feel the brunt of this the most, as far as winds go. Winds, okay? But man, I am so worried about surge that nobody else seems to be, and I'm just about ready to lose all the hair I have left in my head about surge. Nobody. So I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to be the one that's going to raise the alarm on surge, and I don't think I'm wrong. I've seen storms. I chase storms. I see numbers. I follow models. I follow maps. So I'm going to get into all that. So once again, I'm not a professional meteorologist. I'm not even a fake meteorologist. I'm not a meteorologist. So please trust the National Hurricane Center. Trust your local EOC. Trust your Florida Division of Emergency Management. And if you trust me, thank you. And I try not to steer you wrong. And I get a lot of my advice here from Louis. So Louis not taking it serious, but he's a dog. All right, so I got a lot of graphics opened up here. A lot of y'all have been with me a long time. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. We've got a lot of supporters. People ask me all the time. I'm going to do a shameless plug real quick, but we have a great community on MWP chat. We have our own social network. You all inspire me, keep me going, keep me positive. If you want to join that, just simply click right here, subscribe to the MP Brew Crew, and we have a lot of perks. So people ask me all the time how to do it. That's how you do it. If you want to support the page and be part of something bigger, that's what you do. But we'll deal with that after the storm. But I have a lot of graphics I want to show you. This is hopefully, we'll put it in perspective of what we're dealing with, okay? This is an estimated satellite look at Helene tomorrow. And they don't get any more graphic than that. Notice the bands of storms going through the Florida Peninsula. The whole state of Florida is, except for the tip, I can't say the whole state, 80% of Florida, all the peninsula, Georgia, South Carolina, is going to feel this. We got hurricane warnings way past the Florida state line now. That's serious. We got people in Georgia going to have hurricane, okay? But this is it. This is what we're going to see on radar tomorrow on satellite, okay? I am convinced of that. It is going to be a monster. How strong, nobody knows. Major, yes. This is what it looks like now. I'll say it. I don't care. I'm going to say it. It looks like what Michael did when Michael was forming. And you will agree with me, I hope, that I'm not hyping this, okay? This system last night started doing this, and this is what it looks like now. So, we said all along, if this thing is around 990 pressure, 995 pressure beside Yucatan, we got big problems. Well, it's at 981 officially right now. Might be 979, might be even lower than that. But the last peg from that hurricane is 981 currently. So more than likely, it's going to be a hurricane at 11 o'clock advisory. There's no doubt about it. And that's a large system. I don't have to. They are saying this is going to be the top 10 width storm. Okay. We got tropical storm force winds on the other side over to the Atlantic, and I'd be worried about some sneaky surge up there in that big. I don't know if you call that the Bend area, but Jacksonville, Brunswick, Savannah. And you're going to want to listen. We got an enhanced level 3 out of 5 tornado chance, not in Florida because of this. Okay, level 3 out of 5 tornado chance tomorrow, not in Florida. Okay, everybody focuses on that dang center line. And it just drives me crazy because there's effects way outside this cone, okay? So that's what it looks like. This is bad. It doesn't get any worse than that. I mean, that is some serious developing hurricane right now. That's what it currently looks like. There's satellite. All right, enough of that. Recon, tropical tidbits just came out there. 981 was the last peg. So it's brushing with 970 millibars. Current watches and warnings, obviously all of Florida up to, except for the tip of the panhandle there, east side of the storms are always the worst. This one is no exception. It's even more wide than normal. The inland effects, we got hurricane all the way up here in the middle part of Georgia. Power outages like some have never seen in Georgia and South Carolina, because this storm is still going to be packing some serious punch going north, because a deepening hurricane at landfall is the worst, okay? This one's going to be driving in moisture from an upper level low off to the west, so I don't know if dry air is really going to make a difference on this storm. Strengthening hurricanes at landfall suck. I've seen it. I felt it. It's totally different than a weakening storm at landfall. We got tropical storm warnings in blue. We got some pink here. Hurricane watches still up for a big part of west central Florida. Red's hurricane warnings. These tropical storm watches will likely turn into warnings at 11 a.m. in yellow. Here's what it kind of looks like on the bigger picture. If you're kind of curious, I know we don't supposed to use the center line, but I think the center line is a good idea just to show you how close it is to Tallahassee at this point, how close it is to Panama. The cone is very close still across west central Florida. Remember, the cone is anywhere the eye could go. If you're worried about the eye could go anywhere in this cone. Okay, we can see track adjustments. Okay, the tricky part of this forecast is why we're getting these little teeny weeny little notches to the west. Is this low that's coming down is going to magnetize this towards it, and that is, the ones that follow me know this for like 4 days now. We were saying if anything sneaky is going to be sneaky, would be how close to the east coast before a sneaky turn off to that northwest, and that's kind of what we're seeing, a little tug last second there. So unfortunately for Tallahassee, Valdosta, Albany, Albany knows all too well with Michael. I drove through Albany after Michael. My God, they had Cat 3 winds in Albany, Georgia. Dothan, all these folks here. Everybody's talking about Florida, including me, maybe not hopefully as much as others. That you got a hurricane north of Albany, Georgia. A hurricane north of Albany, Georgia. So this affects a lot more people than just landfall. Put that in perspective. That's crazy. Atlanta. We're going to see widespread power outages in Atlanta. Beryl was only a Cat 1 when it made landfall. This might be a 3-4 making landfall. Beryl caused crazy power outages. And it might be the infrastructure, yeah, but there was big-ass trees down. Power lines snapped. Deepening hurricanes, winds are lower to surface. That means, and elevation increases the farther north you go. Higher elevation, higher winds. It's going to be widespread power outages. Everybody wants to talk about these wiggles and wobbles. It drives me crazy because we have not seen wiggles and wobbles like we have with other hurricanes, okay? This is a TVCN. This is a gentleman named Brian Tang. This tracks the last six-hour forecast. TVCN is an assembly of consensus model. Very, very little nudges. And I think I said it best yesterday. Nudges matter for the intense eye wall winds, okay? A little bit. When it wiggles this much, we don't know what side of the eye wall is going to have the worst winds, first off. Sometimes hurricanes have the worst winds on the northwest side, most of the time the northeast side. But we've seen hurricanes. So, again, the eye is going to be huge, but the overall effects don't mean nothing. And I worry about people feeling, oh, we're out of the cone. You know how many times I read that? Oh, it's shoved west. Phew, we needed that. The thing is so wide, it has absolutely no difference if this thing nudges west or east, okay? But the amount of people that believe that, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not making fun of anybody. That's where messaging is so important to me, is hopefully messaging educates. I have to be educated. I've learned so much doing this journey. Trust me, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years ago, I didn't know nothing. I was just sharing models. I thought I was a weather guy. You know, I've learned a lot. I will say that. I will toot my own horn. I have learned a lot with tropics, okay? I'm okay with that. Yes, I'll be cocky. And I hope the messaging helps eventually, okay? So don't get caught up on these little nudges. It doesn't change anything. It changes when we see huge nudges. We're not seeing that. The effects are there regardless of little nudges. And again, here's your track of the National Hurricane. So yes, we've seen a little bit of shift to the west. And I talked about, I admitted to it. I'm not in denial. I don't want that to seem like it's a talking point, if that makes sense, okay? Because I did that a few hurricanes ago, and it made the impression that things were changing. So nudges don't change that, and that is extremely confident tracking right now. Latest spaghetti models, this came out on Tropical Tidbits. Again, you can't get any more clearer than that. No surprises, no turns into Naples, no turns into New Orleans. That is high confidence, and we see that. We're going to get a last-second little wiggle wobble. That always happens, okay? You have to be prepared for that. Nobody can predict that. With this, the only thing that I'm seeing different with this storm than other storms, when we had a frontal line involved, the question mark was how much that frontal line is going to turn it after landfall. This is different. We have a low pressure off to the west coming down. How much will we get a last-second nudge towards that? But there you go. Pretty dang tight to me. This is a great site. This is another gentleman, Tomer Berg. I'm friends with him on X. We actually chit-chat once, so he's pretty cool. This is an ensemble blend, all right? So this is about, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of models here. You have the 4 biggies for track. Things have changed over the years with tracking hurricanes, okay? The GFS, the Euro, the UK, and Canadian are 4 great models, including the Icon, which isn't on here. They track very well tracking. They don't track intensity very well at all. So we've shifted, or I've shifted. Now everybody's shifting, thank goodness, because the H-Wharf started this trend. So we use these models. They're really good for steering. And remember, all of this is based on high pressures and low pressures. Okay, we have a high, we have a low. That doesn't change with the intensity of a storm. The intensity of a storm could nudge east, but the overall steering pattern of the upper atmosphere is there, and that's why we have such high confidence. I mean, so this averages out the average of all their means, and we have the Canadian, we have the GFS. So we have the Canadian and the kind of cyan. We got the green with GFS. We got the red in the Euro, and we got the blue in the UK. And you basically have hundreds of models agreeing on this. There's a couple outliers that we always look at, but every hour that goes by, the outliers become less and less of a possibility. Okay, we're within a day and a half of landfall now. So you never take your eyes off of these outliers, but if you notice, the outliers are doing this. So this, and then there's that track to the north. Going to be a tremendous amount of energy with this upper level low coming in. That's why I think we're going to see winds that people aren't even expecting. And I haven't even talked about the flooding yet. Rainfall, here you go. Red is bad. Red is double digits, 12, 16 on a broad map. That means we'll see isolated spots even greater. Okay, we focus on winds. Everybody's infatuated with category strengths, and oh my God, the emotions of category strengths is what rules the hurricane season. It rules the news. Florence, I talk about it. Florence, Cat 4 made headlines. Oh my God. Then it went to Cat 3, breaking news, downgraded. Cat 2, downgraded. Cat 1, downgraded. Nobody talked about Florence anymore. They didn't care. It wasn't out of Cat 5. $24 billion later of damages it left behind. So stories like this don't make the news and they don't make the hype, but we're going to see catastrophic flooding in the mountains because the storm's going to stop and we're going to have low pressure energy fueling this thing. It's going to get fed energy from the Atlantic. We got serious flooding going to happen in a lot of population. Okay, so I cover more than just Florida, obviously. This is a big story of Helene. Okay, we got red double digits in mountains. Flash flooding is going to be serious. And they're already showing that, okay? Pink is rare. Pink is 70% chance or greater of flash flooding. And that is a lot of folks, man. That's going to be a story. I'm telling you. Flooding is going to be a serious story. We got high winds mixed with heavy rain. Power outages, I think, are going to be rivaling some of the biggest we've ever seen for a storm because of the infrastructure, trees. They don't hurricane prep in Atlanta. They don't hurricane prep in Georgia. They're going to see hurricane force winds, gusts way up towards Tennessee with rain saturating the ground. So that's a big story that you're going to hear about. Here's the other big story you're going to hear about. Everybody's worried about landfall and where this is going, but what about why do we have an enhanced orange in Savannah and Hilton Head and Charleston? What the heck is this about? I thought the hurricane was going to Florida. Why are we going to get tornadoes? They don't usually do orange risks in tornadoes or in hurricanes. Usually they stick at level 2 out of 5. So I was really surprised this morning to see a level 3 enhanced risk in Georgia and South Carolina. Why? Well, first off, this is a big storm. Okay? Look, storm's going this way, yes. But we are going to get, the cruise ships are now not coming to port? Right? This storm is so big, you're going to get feeder bands in off the Atlantic, and you're going to have tornado chances tomorrow. That's, dark green, we get tornado chances. Yellow, we get a lot of tornado chances. Orange is pretty serious. So this is not just a Florida storm. This is going to affect a lot of people. Millions of people. And notice we got dark green all the way down into South Florida. That's because the initial bands that are starting to show up on radar are going to come in and they're going to do the same thing. So counterclockwise, that's a large area of people that are going to be affected by this thing. And all you got to do is look at the size of this. Let me show this real quick. It's massive. Just put it in perspective. Look at that thing. It's brewing. It's going to be big. And it looks like that moisture that's feeding up from the Caribbean is going to be on that east side. It's going to be riding a loop current. It's going to be riding that warm Gulf Stream. It's got everything lining up for it to do what it's going to do. So we don't need to talk about the what ifs anymore. What else we got to show you? So surge is the next thing. Surge, I got to drink coffee about this thing. I'm sorry I'm not reading comments. Hopefully I'm applying good information. I can't get sidetracked. We'll see at the end, but surge is the biggie. All right, this is bad. All right, obviously I don't have to tell you landfall is going to be bad. They're predicting 10 to 15 foot surge in the purple area. This thing gets stronger, it could be higher than that. But 10 to 15, it doesn't matter. That's high. There's a lot of towns, a lot of folks. Unfortunately, had to deal with flooding with Idalia, with Debbie. This is not Idalia. This is not Debbie. This is going to be worse. And unfortunately for folks in the red on the west side, this storm's moving that way just a little bit. So we're going to have flooding, unfortunately, down, Port St. Joe, Cape San Blas, Apalachicola, all those little towns on there in the Florida side, 5 to 10 feet. My huge concern, man, and I'm the only one sounding the alarm, and this is the part of the storm that I'm passionate about, is Tampa Bay area, 5 to 8 feet as predicted. Now, this is official, okay? I was showing this a few days ago before we got surge maps, so I don't understand. People are just doing that. Like, storms, we're not in the cone. But I covered Ada. Ada was only supposed to be 3 to 5 foot. It was around 4 foot, 3 to 5 foot. That was what they predicted for Ada. And there was literally 1,000 homes flooded plus in Pinellas County, 350 some in Madeira Beach. And they're saying this could be 8 foot. I don't know. I don't think people watch the news enough anymore. Trust me. I go to Chili's every night after doing my show. Half the people had no idea yesterday this was even coming. Okay, we got people in condos, hotels, Airbnbs, probably have no idea, there's a chance of flooding. Surge, I just worry about surge. Hopefully I'm wrong, but these numbers are high, and it's 4 to 7 down to Inglewood. That's some big surge. And here's the difference. Okay, this system's one of the biggest we've seen in a lot of years. We've seen the flooding with Debbie. We saw the flooding with Idalia. We saw the flooding from a no-name storm in December this year. It was only 990 pressure. So that's all. I guess it's just if you live in the water area, just be aware that we got some pretty big numbers predicted. Okay, bigger than I've seen. Trust me. We had numbers like this predicted for Irma, Ian, but guess what? That storm turned. So we never saw them verify. This one's not going to turn to our south. So, yeah, I don't know. I just don't. I don't know. I just think that that's going to be the holy crap moment for a lot of folks. Like, where did this water come from? That's all. I mean, Idalia, it's worse than Idalia. And there's a lot. FEMA was in Palm Harbor for months because of flooding. Okay, Palm Harbor's where I kind of grew up. So anyway, that hasn't changed. Pay attention to this. 11 o'clock, we'll get a new advisory. We'll see if they change their thinking. I can't see how. Maybe they will. Maybe if it shifts a little to the west a little bit, maybe that would be less. I don't know. But these are big numbers. I posted this morning. These have not gone down. These are tide charts for Clearwater and St. Petersburg. And Clearwater's showing almost 10. St. Petersburg's showing 9. I use these charts a lot. And I haven't seen them go over 4, 5, 6 ever. I saw them around 4 for Ada. Saw them around 4 for that no-name storm in December. This is double. This is double what we saw. So please understand my concern and my history of past storms for our Pinellas County, Tampa Bay area, northward, everybody. This is West Central Florida, but my experience, I saw these numbers 4 or 5 foot, saw a lot of flooding. These numbers are almost double. Okay, we'll see. I just can't believe we're a day away. This would be tomorrow night. We just there's no discussion about it. I don't know. Notice the red. The red is observed, and blue is predicted. We are running almost a foot higher than what's been predicted. Notice these red lines. So our waters are already running almost a foot higher than they're supposed to be. And this has nothing to do with Helene. This is just the natural phenomenon. King tides are sticking around for whatever reason. So I'm done talking about that. You can say I was wrong, or if it happens, you can say I was right. I just feel the need to let you know. From my experience. Anyway, let's talk about the latest big bad models here. We'll go to Tropical Tidbits. These are our high resolution models, and let's see what they're saying. So all along we said if this thing was 990, 995 leaving the Yucatan, it was going to be trouble. Okay, and it's at 981, 980. Who knows what it is right now? We'll get a new update here in an hour. But this is the latest HWRF. These are really good high intensity models showing a deepening 971, 69, obviously, 955. Here's Tampa Bay, 956, 944, 943. So, point from this model, continuing strengthening system all the way to landfall. Massive rains, winds inland, pressure 949 in Georgia. Now, this thing is moving fast. I can't tell the people in Georgia enough that you will experience major hurricane wind gusts. And there's going to be a lot of people living in Georgia that aren't prepared. I guarantee it. And it's tomorrow night. But look at that, 955 pressure in Macon near Georgia. You get 955 pressure around Atlanta. This is the story. This is a story. This could be one of the worst storms that hit Atlanta. I mean, most of our bad hurricanes curved off to the Atlantic or towards the East Coast. This is 955 millibar system nearing Atlanta on Friday morning. This is epic. All right, latest. So we got worse models than this. Let me show you the latest H halves B, just for example. This one is showing a massive intensification like I've never seen. Maybe it hasn't on this one, hopefully. 946, 40, 29, 16, 08. That's worst case scenario right there. 908 pressure. This would rival one of the worst hurricanes ever. 908, if that were to happen. We have to take that consideration. It's possible. When all four of your highly successful modeling are suggesting this. So here's an example. The HAFS A is predicting 981, and it's already 981. So it's already initialized wrong. So this one's going to get thrown out because the storm's stronger now than it thought it was when it initiated this model run. But it's still showing at 929. And here's what this. Let me tell you what drives me crazy with the weather world. I share models when they're consistent. I make little puns here and there. I'm not showing this until we see the next run. The point being, you want to see consistency. So we share these models, and then we get one run that it showed 960. And oh my God, all the weather experts come out and say, that's why we don't share those models. That's why you're wrong. Look at this run. And guess what? The next one, it goes back to this. So, you know, I do my thing, man. But anyway, that's bad. Just do my thing. All right, then let's see. I HAFS A, then we got one more model. We did HAFS A, HAFS B. Oh, we didn't do HMON. HMON is the old GFDL. It's showing 968 here. That's bad. Let's see what it does. 947. So that's a little more realistic. Still Cat 3, but hopefully, you know, when there's that little tick west, you know, unfortunately, that's why we have a cone. The cone. Sound like the Fantasy Island guy. The plane, the cone. And it's showing 956 way inland here, man. 959, you know, 969 near Chattanooga. I'm worried about these mountains. I'm worried about Rock City. Getting some big-ass winds up there, man. I'm done. What more can I say? Reading between the lines here of NHC discussion. Remember on my site here, got a lot of great information. If you're in Florida, please listen. Right here, Florida FDEM official storm information. I'm partners with them. We're good friends. I'm very fortunate. Kevin Guthrie is a friend of mine now and comes to our site to spread information. All the hater Mets out there that don't like me, just realize that FDM comes to my site, and I don't do this for clicks. But look at this information. Press release updates, executive orders, county emergency management information. So whatever, here's evacuation information. But county emergency management, I can't stress enough, they're the ones you trust during times like this, okay? They're the one, you don't trust me at this point. I'm passing the baton after this live. From now on, it's you need to be focusing on your local governments, your local EOCs. There's no more what ifs. We know the impacts are there. There's no more surprise, you know, coming. I mean, it's a day away, so really, it's pointless to worry about nudges and wiggles and wobbles, and we know this is going to be bad, and you got to prepare. County information is the best, so you click on these EOC operation, you know, so click on your county, just do it, get it, bookmark it, go to Pinellas County where I live, bookmark it, everything you need to know. So, no, so they just issued mandatory evacuation for Zone A. Did that just happen? Pinellas County issued a mandatory evacuation for Zone A in all mobile homes starting at 9 a.m. today. Is that new? So, if you need to know your zone, know your zone. Oh, yeah, we're B. Oh, Julie knows. Good for you, Julie. I'll be honest, about 2 years ago, I didn't even know my zone. Know your zone. Here's Pinellas County. A is red. Look at all these people under mandatory evacuation. everybody in the islands are under mandatory evacuation. A lot of St. Pete. So there you got them. But anyway, know your counties. Great tool right there. Florida Division of Emergency Management. Another great tool. Local impacts here. This little button right here, local National Weather Service impacts. You can click on this and you can go to your local National Weather Service offices: Tallahasse, Miami, Melbourne, Tampa, Key West, Charleston, South Carolina, Atlanta. And you can look at your impacts and get a feel of what could happen. It's a good tool, and always pay attention to your local National Weather Service offices and what can happen. So we got red winds all the way past Albany, Georgia, and Valdosta. That's possible gusts here of 74 to 110 miles an hour. So Valdosta is going to get a lot of wind. So hopefully that tool helps. A lot of tools. So got all kinds of links. All the links you could possibly want are right here for the storm. So hopefully it helps. Mean Helene. Oh, they're calling it Mean Helene. Yeah, I'm gonna stay out of adjectives. But I did say Mean Helene last night. I don't want to create any, fun at the potential coming. So, listen. Let's see. I made some notes here. I think I got everything. We're gonna slow it down. I might read comments until 10:19. I try to go to 10:19. I tell you what, man, I kind of covered everything I wanted to cover about. So, there you go. Our daily brew brought to you by our good friends at ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. I hope you saw the video that they posted yesterday about hurricane tips. It was pretty informative, I thought. We put a lot of time into some hurricane tips. So props to ABC for mingling a little bit of humor at the beginning and some seriousness. So that was cool. I love ABC Fine Wine and Spirits, and I'm sure there's a bazillion Floridians that are heading there now for the hurricane. Progressive Tree Care. I want to call these friends out of mine. They live here in Pinellas. They go on the site. They go to the storm. So anybody in Tallahassee, that area that needs tree removals, you will need to call somebody. They will take care of it for you and then deal with the insurance later. Just mention MWP. Just remember that, because you get trees falling down, who do you call? You don't know who to call. You can't wait weeks sometimes for storm debris removal. So good friends of mine, Progressive Tree Care, right here, been doing it since 2004. We got mooring on the way. Any large corporation businesses, they are out of Texas. Good friends of mine, Brian, big crew, disaster restoration. They're on site currently, heading there to help people. Have you seen the news about these guys? Tiger Dam? Thousands of feet of Tiger Dam are being put around the state right now in Florida. They are flood protectors. They do a home unit. There's me on a little video. Hopefully you got some of these, but down the road, give them a look. You're going to see these orange barriers everywhere across the state of Florida as they get ready. Coastal Claims, they did a great commercial yesterday about your pets and taking care of your pets, which is passionate to me because of Louie and Hunter. So hopefully you saw that commercial. They are claims adjusters here in the state of Florida. They'll be there to help you all across Southeast Texas. You need a public adjuster if you got to deal with insurance. In my opinion, they will help get you money fast. Lodging Solutions is setting up. They are the base camps that will be there for thousands and thousands and thousands of linemen are on their way. Bolton Holdings and Lodging Solutions is the best at what they do. They set up tent cities overnight. They shower, they feed, they build portable homes that some of these will be living in for weeks to months possibly. So big shout out to them. Thanks for supporting so much over the years. Of course, we got Furman Power Equipment. Man, I hope we have enough generators on standby. Big partners with, look at this. I just got everybody's phones just went off in the world. Listen. I got my volume down. Whose phones just went off? Julie? All of them. Mandatory evacuation, Pinellas County, Zone A. So there's that. Lowe's, Costco. You can go get them now, especially in Georgia. I'm telling you. We're going to have power outages like we've never seen. They're good friends of mine. For sure. Big shout out to Direct Remodels here. They've been texting me. Actually, Jim Cantori is in Dan's neighborhood. Dan and John live here in my area. We've had a lot of MWPs use them for impact windows. Obviously, you can't get them now, but down the road, if you do, 40% off, plus a free Furman generator. What great partner is that? Free Furman generator when you get your home with Direct Remodels and Hurricane video. We're going to do a video with Emily pitching a softball in a regular window, and then we're going to do a video with Emily pitching a softball on a hurricane window. And I'm going to stand behind that, and I'm going to be scared to death. I can tell you that. Another great friend of mine, Tammy Kent and crew, wonderful company, wonderful family, been in the power line industry forever, and they have a massive crew that's going there right now that are set up. We need damage assessors. You don't realize what goes on behind the scenes. Damage assessors are there, and they will point the linemen in the right direction. They are the first ones out there to get life back to normal, and they have an awesome crew. They're good friends of mine, and they got thousands of folks waiting for Helene also. So you can't believe how this industry works, and how much is involved in thousands of people that are going to be on the scene helping everybody get through this thing. I'm telling you, you just can't. Now locally, unfortunately, we're going to have hurricane force winds here in Pinellas County, Hillsborough County, and Pasco. Another shout out to Done Right Roofing, the orange and blue trucks that you see around town. If you need anything, give them a call. Tell them you're MWP fans. You'll probably get bumped to the top of the list. We're going to have a lot of roof damages here, unfortunately, as we have massive winds coming in across the Bay Area northward, okay? Not trying to, stress enough, this is a storm like some of us have never seen. It's large. It could be Cat 4. It's nothing to take lightly. I got to click on Apalachicola Bay, man. Sullivan and crew up there. I'm worried to death about Apalachicola Bay. That they're right in that zone of hurricane. My friends up there at Roy's and Steenhatchee, everybody's been dealing with this. It's sad. I can't believe some of the same areas are going to get affected from Idalia and Debbie, and now we got even a bigger storm on the way. So I just hate it, man. I just feel for everybody that's affected by this storm. That I think now people are realizing it's the real deal, and nothing to scoff at all. So the website's holding up good. Thank you for that. I've been spending a lot of time over the years making sure we had enough server power to keep this from crashing on us, and so far so good. And there you go. That's what we're looking at. Pretty massive storm. Hopefully models are wrong and this thing stays weak, but it's not. And there you go. So that's it for me, man. I've talked a bazillion hours in the last week. You missed what I said about Atlanta. Well, that's what we're going to get. Levi's. Going forward, what do we got here? Surge, there you go. We got a number. I'll be on the road doing a live tonight for sure. We'll do an update this evening sometime. Kevin Guthrie's on TV right now. Mary, yeah, man, the comments fly in. I can't read everything. But yeah, so a lot of people want to know about their individuals, and I understand. That's what we all worry about. So I just can't. I can't concentrate on every. I can't concentrate on every. Sorry, that's just not me. That's why I say go to your local meteorologist, go to your local EOCs, go to your National Weather Service and National Hurricane Center. They are going to help provide information. So that's it. We'll be going north. So I'll be streaming live. I know that's not for everybody. That's fine. That's your opinion, but I don't need to hear it. I'll be honest with you. I'm tired of it. I'm going to be out there in the storm. Most of these partners I showed are going to be at the storm. I'm very good friends with a lot of government, state officials, fire, police, EOC, FDM, FEMA. I meet all these folks on the road. I'm passionate about what I do. I love doing it, and I don't want to hear that you don't like it. I'm not going to watch the radar come ashore. That's just not me. I prepare everybody for what's coming, and anybody can watch the radar come ashore. So I'll be on YouTube, X, and Facebook for sure, and just somehow keep your notifications on because you never know when I go live. I got a lot better setup this time than Francine, so I'm hopeful that internet connection is going to be good. I got the truck ready to go. I got a radio show at 11:30 with Tom and Dan, and then I'm on my way. So just take it serious, folks. Spread the word as much as you can. And good luck. All right. See you on the road.